We got hards on. We're going to the end.
Oh, audio listeners, sorry. This isn't always a visual medium. I am here. I'm just doing a minute silence. I'm not going to do the full minute, but raise a glass to freedom. That's for my Hamilton heads out there. Freedom from Max Verstappen's, you know, reign, his dirty little mitts. As you can see, I'm in shambles, mate. I've got zero notes. I think I've done this once before. Usually I'll jot down at least a couple stuff that I meant to jog my memory. Usually 50% of the stuff doesn't even remind me of what I was meant to be getting at. So I'm just like left confused whilst it gets to the filming part. Anyway. But then I think one other time, and I think it was a time when Lando completely fucked it, where I was just like, oh, I'm probably going to title this something like, let's all laugh at a Lando fan, or like, click this video if you hate Lando Norris, or something like that, just because, man, it's got to be nice. Honestly, if you're a Max Verstappen fan, it has to be nice. I always think this, like, if you're a Man City fan, if you're I don't know American sports well enough, if you're like a Golden State Warriors fan, if you're like if you like support a team who like wins everything, how does it feel? And I'm not calling you a glory hunter. I'm not saying you did that. A lot of people did. And I'm not blaming you for that. Like, you're a kid, you want a team to support. You pick the team who's winning, and then you're sick of them for life. That's just how it goes. And then there's other kids who are born into a family who supports, Millwall, and you have to get on with it. Like, it's hard, man. It's hard. Like, everyone was gassed. I see, because Lando fans will troll Max fans. Max fans will troll Lando fans. It's usually more Max trolling Lando for this season, let's be honest, in terms of Twitter and stuff. And I see people having jokes, making lols and gags and laughs about Max qualifies P17, Lando's P1. And I'm thinking, well, it's only downhill from here. We're not like, best case scenario, Lando does what he's supposed to do and finishes ahead of Max. But there is so many possibilities, especially with the rain and stuff, where I'm just like, this can so easily just go against, and that's exactly how it went. And I'm not, by the way, taking anything away from Max. I'm not saying like it's all luck. Max Verstappen is like a bad smell I just can't get rid of, but I still respect it. Like, he's inevitable. He is inevitable. He won't go away. And as much as we try and deny him, he is just an unstoppable force. And like, it's not just his skill. Like, he's good, and I've always said this, it's the fact that the strategy is always great. Like, in terms of you can call it bad luck, but you make your own luck and you make your own bad luck and stuff, and just every decision, outside of being a good driver, because he was still cutting through that field, like, forget a hot knife through butter, he was like a bullet through butter, okay? And like, that first part of the race where he was just overtaking everyone, it's like, and by the way, this race sucked. Outside of any bias and stuff for what I wanted to happen, the race categorically was shit. Okay, but we're gonna get into that in a minute. In that first part, he was like the only one doing overtakes. He was overtaking everyone with relative ease. I was just like, what is this cheat code? I was kind of taken aback and equally just pissed off because Perez. I don't think I should even talk about him this week because I'm just sick of him. When he said something. Oh, he said something that pissed me off. Oh, it was in qualifying. We'll get to that later. This is the thing. I've completely forgotten my whole structure. My whole, like, was it rate my quality, doing it all in the sectors, race rundown, the soft, medium, hard. It's like, I just thrown it all out the window because I just need to run. I just need to express myself. Okay? Max, like, yeah, outside of all the skill, because he was doing amazingly even before the crazy stuff happened, it was just like, he always knows when to stay out. And you can be like, oh, that's just luck. You stayed out and then a red flag happened. But it's not luck. Like, he always just gets these luck decisions right. Staying out in terms of his strategy, the pits, the calls he makes, the fights he's in, where he's always in the right place at the right time. And that is not just luck. That's a skill in itself to be lucky. And I don't know how you garner that. That's in the right word. I don't know how you get to that place. But like, I would say the second best driver at doing it is like Carlos Sainz. He just has a knack for that kind of thing, being in that place and getting those decisions right and being lucky. But Max, it is so consistent that it is impressive. And like, man, it's like all these things, And Lando was never going to win. He was never going to win this season. I just wanted it to be respectable. I wanted it to be a respectable fight to give you good ammunition and arguments in the future and stuff, when your back's against the wall, which it usually is as a Lando Norris fan, right? You need that ammunition just to get it close, just to put in some good performances. I think he's won 3 races this year. That's the same as Charles Leclerc. Like, that's not good enough considering the car difference. And, someone made a point. I think it was, not Verstappen. It was Helmet Marker, maybe? Going like Hamilton, he would win in that McLaren. And Brundle kind of poo-pooed that, but like, I don't think Hamilton would have won this season in the McLaren. But like, he would have won, I think, a lot more than 3 races. And that is 7-time world champion Max Verstappen. Like, I don't think that's like a crazy point to say Lewis Hamilton would have won more races in a McLaren. I mean, he won 2 in a Mercedes. So, in this season, I mean. So like, yeah, that's not the craziest thing in the world. It's just that, like, God, to be P1 and your rival to be P17 and you walk away from the race P6 and he finished P1, like, that isn't luck. And although a lot of lucky things happened to Max, you could argue, and maybe some unlucky things happened to Lando, that's more than just luck involved there. I mean, for Max to even be able to profit from the luck, he had to put himself in that position by overtaking all those cars. And it's just, like, insane. Like, he takes a penalty this weekend as well, the 5th place penalty, and on top of that, he qualifies badly. And it's just like, goats are inevitable. Like, you just see this kind of thing happen. And it's crazy the way sport works, that sport will do things that you couldn't write this. The amount of times people say that in sport, you couldn't write this, and then it happens. It's just like, it's heartbreaking to me. There's 2 races left, I think, or 3, I think 2. And, yeah, Max has basically won it now. He can make it like done in the next race, but he's won it now. And now it's kind of just damage limitations. How much can we close the gap? Can we make it look like it was closer than it was when people look back in history and see the point difference? And I don't think Lando I mean, a lot of people, they got so much love for Piastri, but just hate Norris. And the only difference is that Norris has been in the team a bit longer. But both seasons, Lando's comfortably been the quicker driver. So, like, he's clearly good. He's clearly good, and it's just more of a case that people don't like Lando. Because they like Piastri. They don't like Lando. Piastri is apparently an amazing driver, and Lando is dog shit. I mean, make it to make a sense. It doesn't line up. There was things to talk about in quality. The thing I wanted to say about Perez was just the whole, I don't know. And as someone who's a shit employee, like from the jobs I used to have, or like, and even not even trying, and that's the thing, that's how I can relate to Perez. I wasn't necessarily trying to be shit. Yes, there was jobs where I'd hide in the bathroom. Yes, we've all been there. We've all done the jobs where we're trying to do the bare minimum, we're hiding away and we're not pulling our weight. But like, most of the jobs I had with the people, and I liked my colleagues and stuff, and we got on well. I'm trying, but I would quite often get called into the sort of the office or whatever, and be sat down and be like, you're shit, essentially. You're mediocre at this and fairly incompetent for what is a very simple minimum wage job. And I feel like I have that similar to Sergio Perez, just not doing a great job, but not because I'm not trying, not for a lack of trying, right? But it's like, in those situations where if it came down to it, and some people could get sacked, you're pretty high on that list for like, the undesirables, who they're willing to get rid of, right? When that's where you are, and that's the kind of performances you're putting in. I'm not getting loud and leery, okay, the second, something doesn't go my way. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm working in a place and I know I'm indispensable, if I don't get paid on time, I email in and I go, hey, I wasn't paid. Hey, really sorry to email. Wasn't paid. Just checking to see if everything's alright. Maybe I got it wrong. Haha. Anyway, see you soon. Love you lots. Thanks so much for reading this email. Like, I'm nice as hell. I'm not emailing in rageful, fuck you, where's my money? Now, the people who they love, who do a good job that they can't get rid of, yeah, sure, they can do that. But me, no. I'm just grateful to be here, guys. That's the thing with Sergio Perez. Okay, you think you should have stayed in for the 2 minutes instead of waiting in a queue, and you think that cost you. Sergio, You have been so bad. You've been given amazing strategies. You have been put on the right strategy. You've got a rocket ship under your ass. And consistently, you have delivered niche. Okay? And now this one time where they maybe didn't get a strategy bang on perfect in your opinion for something we don't even know is what if buts and maybes, you're acting like, Jesus Christ, my job is on the line here and this is what you're doing. It's like, mate, just wheel in the rage a little bit. Like, read the room, understand what you've given us. Like, oh my god. It's just like, when drivers get angry, right, to the people in the pit wall, and it's just like, mate, when you go out Q3 and quali, we don't jump on the radio and be like, you're fucking shit! What the fuck, we pay you this much, how the fuck are you getting this for? This is so simple, Max is on pole! He's on pole! You're in P17! Like, they're not doing that. They're like, that's P17, Sergio. And they have to deal with it. And then, you know what you say? You go, sorry guys. You know? Uh-oh. But the second we do something not to your liking, we gotta hear it it's just like, God. And that's maybe not a Sergio thing. Like, I'm sure Lance Stroll, they will do the same thing. But just, you know, I see it. I don't like it, Sergio. And if I liked you for the, you know, in the first hand, I'd probably get the ick from that. But I didn't like you to begin with. So yeah. The race went how it went. Lewis had the weekend from hell. What even was the podium? Oh yeah. God. But it was Ocon and I think Gasly up there. I like Gasly, but Ocon, no. And to be fair, I can't be a hypocrite. I did say I wanted more races like this where you get just like random teams up on the podium, a bit of just randomness happening. But this race was just so random XD that it wasn't even good. Like, outside of the fact I'm upset about it because Max was not on pole, that he won from P17. And like, that would have been fair enough if Lando at least was on the fucking podium. Right, but like outside of that, like that's not. I promise you right now, that's not factoring into why I don't like this race. This race was just like, it was too much sugar. It was like, it was sickly sweet. Like, we got to a certain, and I think it's because I was getting fatigued from this weekend in general. Like the qualifying I liked, but then once we got into the race, because the qualifying was like a lot of red flags, like at least one in every single like Q1, Q2, Q3, I think. You know, there's a lot of, then the rain comes in. But like, I've always said, rain is good when it's salt bayed on the top. Like when it comes in towards the end, or you know, when it's changing conditions and you got to get it right. When it is just non-stop throughout, and that's just the conditions we're dealing with, it's not fun. We might as well be, it's like, there's no fun about rain. You might get some fun results to look at on paper. But in terms of the race, if the weather stays the same throughout, whether it's rain or dry, it's boring. And honestly, probably worse if it's wet. Because there's no DRS and nothing's changing. It's just people slip and sliding. And it's honestly given me the ick for some of the drivers. Because like, I want to be watching. I want to see the spray. I want to see all the rain. And I want to be like, oh damn. And these guys are keeping it on the track. Wow, that's impressive. And I'm seeing people spin off. It's making me think I could get in the car and do a decent job. When I'm seeing like Alonso spinning around in circles, like the champion, you know, I'm like, oh damn, maybe I could give it a go. I want to be swooned. I want to be swept off my feet here. I want to be like, wow, these guys are gods. And then it gets a bit of rain and then they're all spinning around. I'm thinking, geez, giving me the ick here, you know? And it's just like, from all the red flags we had in quali, right? And then you get into the race and it's like, red flag, oh, safety car, oh, yellow flags in first sector, oh, everyone's going off in the first corner, oh, Ollie Behrman thinks he's going to die, oh, everyone's spinning around, oh, the Hasses have spun for the 19th time. And I just got to a point, right, where we still had 20 laps to go and I just thought, fuck off. Like, every time someone span, I was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. You can't have Christmas every day. I get it. You know, this is what I wished for. The genie gave me what I asked for, but it's, you know, but it's not as nice as it would first seem type thing. And now it's a living hell. I'm spiraling and it's the worst Groundhog Day ever. And it's just like, stop. Can we be done with this? And this is why Max is so impressive. Every single driver experienced bad skill. It's a skill issue, or bad luck. Not Max Verstappen. 19 out of 19 drivers either span out, or the red flag fucked them, or something bad happened here or there. And yet, Max Verstappen, none of it. That's impressive. I don't like thinking about it. I need him out of the sport. I cannot have mythological beasts in the sport. It needs to be fair. Everyone needs to be mortal. I can't have a Max Verstappen. And there's not currently another, because you have these people in sport, but there's rivals to them. And at the moment, there is no one good enough to be a rival to Max Verstappen. Either the GOATs are not in the correct machinery, or at the peak of their powers, whichever one you want to believe. The people coming up are either not in the correct machinery or not at the peak of their powers, whichever one you want to believe, whatever driver you back. And then there's Max Verstappen. Yeah, and that's the sad case. And if he wins again next year, and if the car is as competitive as it's been for the second half of the season, that's gonna. I think I would take basically anyone else winning. I mean, it would really hurt to see like a Piastri win because as a Norris guy, that's gonna be like, yay. But just anyone. I'd love to see. I would love. I mean, Lewis in a Ferrari. If Lewis won in a Ferrari, I mean, that's a dream. That would be amazing. That would be like wow, chef's kiss. If Lando could win, that'd be like wow, chef's kiss. If Kimi won, I would honestly just be like, great. That's the next 10 years of my life signed away. We know that that's going. I mean, is there anything else to talk about? That's the thing. Usually you pick out the stuff you go, oh, we'll talk about this incident in the race. We'll talk about this in the race. What am I meant to talk about? Oh, let's talk about Oliver Bearman, his third spin. Now, this one was particularly interesting because he actually span rightwards, whereas all the other times he was going anti-clockwise. It was very fascinating. It's like, yeah, a lot of bullshit happened in this race to the point of where it wasn't fun. It's like you tell the joke, that's funny, man. You tell it again, it's funnier. You come back with a third time, jokes work in freeze or whatever. And then it's the fourth time, it's like, oh, you're still going. But I didn't see it. Okay. The fifth time is like, I'm laughing, but I'm putting it on. And then it's the sixth, and now it's the ninth. And now, are you taking the piss? Are you taking the piss here? It feels like you're taking the piss. Hard awards. I mean, it's Verstappen. It's the hardest, most erect award we're going to give out. It's Verstappen, in all senses of the word. Soft, Lando. I was just so disappointed in my boy. I want some authority. I want some taking of responsibility. I just want you to, even if you finish this race in P8 instead of P6, simple things like, I don't want you getting overtaken into turn 1. It's just like, and this is maybe just, he's stuck in a spiral at the moment, and it's season refresh, and then that will be, but like that, he could have disqualified from this race. I don't care. It's not to do with where he finished. Just like the losing on lap 1. It's just like, I'm tired, mate. I'm tired. Please, I'm begging you. And I'm all in now. Lando could turn into the worst driver of all time, and he could maybe never even finish in the points again. Guess what? Too bad. You're all in now for the rest of his career. That's what it is when you back a team or a driver or something in any sport. You know, Chicago Bulls. I know they haven't had a great time of recent. I know they went on a crazy run or something in like the 90s maybe, and then since then it's just been, you know. I've heard similar things about which is the one in New York. Not the Nets, although the Nets haven't been great. But the Jets actually in football. You know, these teams are just like England in terms of soccer, you know, football. It's coming home. You know, and you just get stuck with these mate, when I was watching England lose another final, lose to Italy. No, that one hurt me. But Spain, and you just go, it's never happening. It's never happening in my lifetime, is it? I'm never going to get to feel the joys of football that others do. I am also a Chelsea fan, so I have, you know, I can't act like it's been all bad. But just in terms of international England, it's just like, and I'm watching Lando in that race, and I just go, is he at his peak? I always like to believe Lando's really, really good, but he's obviously not refined yet. He's not the finished article yet. It's scary sometimes to sit there and go, is this the finished article though? Is that the best season we're ever going to see from him? Type thing. It's hard. It's hard, and it's weird because I always felt like when the car was a little bit worse, he was actually quite a punchy driver, putting some decent overtakes. He'd go for it, and these would result in P3s, P2s, but these were like good for how good the car was at the time, or even like P4s, P6s back when the car was worse. But like, it's since he's became, you know, the guy in the fastest car, I've just felt like he's lost a bit of the edge he had before. He's a bit more reserved now. I used to think he was a little bit, even in interviews, Like, now more than ever, he gets clipped in interviews for being a dickhead, when actually it's taken out of context. And now, everything he says, it's like he speaks like he knows it's about to get clipped on social media, so he's just trying to please everyone. I feel like even before, when he was actually liked more, he was more of an asshole in interviews and stuff, and more of like a little spoiled prince. But he wasn't at the top yet, so it was more maybe likable and stuff. Whereas, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing here, but that was not the best race for me. Considering, right, since Ricciardo's been out of the sport, I now have 2 drivers who are back, which is Norris and Hamilton. So yeah, exactly. Just look at how both of their races went, and yeah. So those are the soft and the hard awards. Medium award I'm going to give to... I mean, I could easily give Perez a soft as well, but medium... I don't know who had an okay race. It's so weird. You'll listen to another podcast and I'll just be waxing lyrical about Ocon and stuff and like breaking down the race and why Ocon had such a great race and this and that and the dynamic of the team and the fact he's losing his seat. I just couldn't give a fuck. I can't even sit here and pretend I give a fuck about talking about the Alpines. Or having to watch your episode on Drive to Survive. That's inevitably coming. But I'll watch it nonetheless. I don't know, I'll just give it to Lawson because I like him. He can have the medium award. Next race, let's Google it. Let's see where it is. I think we've got 2 left, so it's probably like like Bahrain or something. I think it is. I think it's like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. I don't know which order. Let's Google this then, shall we? Look at me. I'm a broken man. This happened 2 days ago. What's the date today? Today is the 6th of November. But what day of the week is that? I know it's embarrassing. I don't even know what day of the week is. It's a Wednesday. The race happened on a Sunday. And it's a Wednesday night as well. And I've had a relatively good day. This is bringing my mood down. Okay? The Wi-Fi is not even on right now. I can't even check. Brilliant. Look, I'm sorry. I'm just killing the mood. You probably had a good day as well. I'm a vibe killer. I've just came in here and I'm just like, ugh. I'm like, you know, I'm just ruining the vibe. I'm that guy. I'm bad vibes. I don't care. You know, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to listen to this. Actually, you go about your business. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you for the next race. I'm incredibly sorry. I'm also going to apologize on behalf of Lando Norris for all my fellow Norris heads out there who are feeling the pains. To feel love's mean sting, or whatever Dumbledore says. So yeah, and if you're a Max fan, fuck you. Thank you so much. We got hard on. We're going to the end. Bye.